Alex Ansary here. It is March 17th in the year 2018. I've been meaning to do a video by the river for a while now, so there's a couple of things I want to cover as we go into spring. Hashtag spring forward. So we're on the other side, I would say, of the intensity that I know that I felt and some of you may have felt in this run up to the new moon. And then we got hit with a number of geomagnetic storms, and it wasn't an unpleasant thing, it was a pleasant thing. And I had my phase where I was back into smoking cigarettes and not doing enough meditation exercise to literally seeing my own physiology shifting after the recent solar flares. Spending some time soaking in some water, more time in nature, doing more exercise, spending about an hour doing some deep breathing not too long ago, right here in town, walking around the park, a major shift in energy, thinking about the future, thinking about a life beyond 2020, thinking about a life beyond YouTube, cultivating myself more as a writer. So I want to provide some inspiration to you, because for those on our planet, for those around us, for those in our lives, there's a lot of unhinged people that are acting out on others. I mentioned recently an increase in murders in the state of Colorado. That's just the beginning. Recently there was a murder-suicide where you look at their Facebook pic, it looks like another happy, all-American hippie couple. And you look behind the scenes, it doesn't matter how many selfies they do. You know, look how Johnny looked so happy with Sally. Sally still picked a man that took her out of this world. We're here to evolve as human beings. We're here to work to change the world as we know it, but we're not ultimately here to change the prison. We're here as the prisoners to change ourselves. And you know what? As we start activating, as our frequency goes up, we're going to find ourselves under attack for doing exactly what it is that we're doing, being who we are. You know, I found myself, because it's a small town, there's a number of different people that don't like me and the fact that I'm here, but I don't get into scuffles with them. Right, but I feel their stare when I'm at the market, and sometimes it might be the same person, you know, and their assumptions and their wonders if I'm from certain countries and if my papers are in order. But this one cowboy was giving me the look, and it's like, this is the point in my life where it's like, I'm not looking for trouble, but it's like, I shouldn't be ashamed to be who I am, you know, and look back at someone and let them know that I'm aware, right, that they're doing that, but continue upon my business. And ultimately, we're going to be facing those types of oppositions when we're out and about in the real world, if we're going to choose to be something other than a Facebook addict that lives at home all the time, looking at the computer screen, even if there's good things that we can do online and even on Facebook. And it's also in how we use the tools. For myself, because of the work that I do and the people that add me, because of the conspiracy box, there's a lot that goes with that. There's a lot of dark side to conspiracy. And despite the fact I try to talk about the light side of the conspiracy, I will attract people that are on the dark side of the conspiracy research community. And see, we can be infected by the energies of others. You know, I've talked about Facebook for a long, long time in a critical sense as someone that's been using Facebook, because I've still been trying to reach the masses or reach people. And in some cases, when I don't have anyone to talk to, I'll talk to people that are Facebook contacts. Some of them I think have the potential for friendship, but the very fact that we're communicating on Facebook alone almost seems to blow off the kneecaps of that possibility real quick. And so the interface is the problem. The overstimulation is the problem. And for those of us that are sensitive, we're picking up on energies regarding people, places, and things that we aren't necessarily at. So we're dealing with the fear of those events, or we could see certain people, certain racial groups targeted, or you may see someone or a group that you identify to be of your line being targeted, and you may be reacting that way, and yet you may not actually be under attack in your immediate reality. But yet, if you look at the lens through the internet, you are at all times. I am at all times. And it's custom tailored regardless of your ethnicity. So whether you're white, Middle Eastern, Hispanic, Black, or Asian, but in particular, I would say Middle Eastern and white, and in particular male. If you fit into either a white male or a Middle Eastern male, there's a custom tailored program that something's coming after you real quick. And the other group's getting all the praise. And yet the greater reality is a lot of people are suffering. And the greater man walks away from this mind control without becoming a racist himself, but trying to help his fellow brothers and sisters see the light and see through the illusions of separation. That's what a lot of people in Alcoholics Anonymous forget, and they let it turn into a cult. It's about helping people around the world, or helping people in general from their addictions in general, and understanding where their addictions come from. What do we need in order to be free? In order for my heart to be strong? Where does my mind, body, and spirit need to be so that I'm not chain smoking or doing unhealthy things or living a sedentary lifestyle to where I'm as active as I need to be for my age? I think about these things often. I also realize that we can be down on ourselves and feel guilt and shame when someone's dogging us about something that we can't change, where we were born or what we look like in particular. But maybe they're looking at us because we have something that they do not. You see, one thing about people that spend a lot of time judging others, they have a lot of demons in their own closet, especially with regards to women and beating up their wives or putting their wife through a wall. You know, a lot of these people that are posting all day long about immigrants, some of them beat their wives into a pulp. And so that type of social order. Here's what you don't hear about from the Me Too campaign, and women, by the way, about the good men in our society that don't beat them, that finish farther last than this year. And that's the greater reality. If that wasn't the reality, we wouldn't be such a warlike planet. Women have their own particular means, as far as I'm concerned, of evolving beyond this matrix. What it doesn't include is continuing to be submissive to the dominator male. There are even some dominator males that are out there that speak against other dominator males that are dominator themselves. I could drop some names, but do I really need to? Now, Alex Jones is a good example that you're already familiar with. You know, the savior of the women, or even the idea of the savior of the white race, as people look to Alex Jones and Donald Trump for assistance in this. The savior of the white race, stop the white race from becoming totally, well, there's been people of different genetics that are actually the same race, but different skin tone. They've been having babies for some time. To talk about that as a death of an actual race, and to treat someone as an outsider because they're different. I mean, there are things that are going on here in this reality, in this matrix, that I liken to a hell. And that's a hell, as I see it, when they teach elements of our country to judge and hate people that aren't even from outside this culture. But why? They're doing it to demonize this country that I was born in, that I will probably die in. I don't see myself in another country in the future. Maybe I should learn Spanish. What do you think? Hey, if you are listening or watching in Mexico, feel free to say hi. You know, I don't think there's going to be a whole lot of Underground Railroad activity, as far as I'm concerned, for people on the run that are considered enemies of the state in the new America. I think the last few years of me going off-grid and talking with you about some of my concerns has shown me there's not going to be much of an off-grid or Underground Railroad. It's take my chances with the world as it is, without fear. And that's what I'm going to do. But that's another reason why I deactivated my Facebook page. I'll consider this Sobriety Day #1. I have another page that's just for posting, that's .tv, and that's going to be separate from my feed that I'm exposed to using my personal Alex Ansary Facebook page, because it's too much energy that I'm picking up on. And it's not enough information. It's apathy. It's narcissism. It's people caring only about themselves. It's people using Facebook and people's Facebook posts and posts on the internet to portray the world in a much more positive, loving way than it actually is. That's not spiritual in my book. I want to know how we can apply the law of attraction to making the world a better place. Think about that. You know, some of those folks that would dog me, they're just doing that with their eyes to project that energy. How about sitting down and having a cup of coffee with me and picking my mind, sir, with a cowboy hat? Maybe I should go back and plop my journal down and start writing right behind him. Ask him if he wants to talk. But see, that's what's missing. We have people that will judge someone based on how they look, and we have people that will lust after someone or a woman based on how they look. What about the content of the character of the human inside? There are times in which I've tried to give someone a free ebook so they could get a chance to know me. Why did they reject the offer of a free ebook? So they can put up a block to ever getting a chance to know me. So I'm going to be working more on my writing, as time goes on, because, we shouldn't censor ourselves based on what's going on with the YouTube algorithm. And I believe that in 100 years, men and women will have benefited from my content so much that people will know my name on a very large scale. Millions of people. Because few people lived as I did that spoke about the things that I did. And most of you are on the fence as to whether or not I'm accurate with some of these things in the 2025 projection. What if I am not wrong? I need to prepare for my life after 2025. What else do I know? What else do I think is coming? What are the other things that I think are going on? But really, I'm going to put together all of my information between now and then and have it all in book form. The solar flare ebook will be rewritten. Everything that I understand to be about the threat to the United States coming from China and Russia, and it not only being karmic, but connected in with their own government, that'll be written down. Every memory that I still have left in my cerebral cortex, in my brain today, every important detail, every relevant detail, all the lifetimes within this lifetime will be documented, and there will even be Cliff Note zines that'll just cover what I believe to be the spiritual truths and why I talk about a creator of all that is, as opposed to many of these gods that I believe are counterfeit.